Hey, what's up? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be mentored by a multiple seven-figure entrepreneur? Well, in this video, I'm going to actually show you and give you an insight into me actually coaching one of my clients on how to essentially sell his marketing and consultancy service, helping language schools and language businesses attract more customers. I basically break down his pitch and re-engineer it and show him how he can pitch his offer and his service to his ideal prospects to get more of them saying yes. Of course, that then means him landing more clients, making more money, etc. And if you like free videos and free education like this to help you start your own business or even grow your existing business, then please do make sure you smash subscribe, hit the like button on this video, and obviously, of course, feel free to get involved in the comments below. Now we're just going to dive in to this clip. Let's get started. This hopefully will be super important and super helpful to nail down this pitch for your new offer and new market. So, little bit long. We're at 7 minutes. I don't know if there's any talking on either side or.
No, there's a little intro there.
Sorry, man. Go on.
I made a little intro just to give you the context of who I'm targeting and everything. So I think the pitch itself is 4 or 5 minutes more, at least.
Cool, because we've got everybody here, let's just listen to the intro.
Okay.
On a little bit faster speed, and then we'll go through the pitch. Cool, man. We'll go through the intro just to give everybody a little bit of context.
Pitch and give you the context real quick before. I'm trying to get language centers, tutors, English teachers. Most times they're going to be English teachers. These are my targets. This is my target. And as you know, they don't have a business per se, so that's one thing I'm going to have to address. And they're not really used to advertising, so but they're really used, or they respond really well to trainings or qualifications, kind of things. So my offer is going to naturally, I think, be more with these two angles to become a business and to have the marketing process in place. So this is what I'm trying to achieve here with my pitch. Okay, so this is it now. So
right, cool. So we're in 1 minute 4. Does it go all the way until the end?
Yeah, I think it does. All the way.
All right, then. So we're at roughly about 6 minutes, right? Which is probably on the a little bit on the long end. So if you're finding that your pitch is going beyond 4, maximum 5 minutes, there's probably some stuff in there that is just hot air, basically, and we don't want hot air. When I say, I've got to remember that I'm talking to a non-native English speaker, so if my accent and terrible use of grammar is a problem, please let me know. So when I say hot air, I mean for anybody else as well who's wondering, I just mean unnecessary talking, basically air that's coming out of your mouth that's not adding any value to what you're saying. And if you're saying, you're always better off saying less than you are saying more in your pitch, right? Typically, that doesn't mean that you want to have a pitch that's like a minute long, but what I mean is like rambling and going on for too long is much worse than keeping something refined and tight and letting people ask questions that arise because I haven't covered something that they're wondering about.
100%.
That makes sense, right? So
absolutely.
Let's have a listen, man.
Oh, okay, Mr. Prospect, that's great. So in order for you to go from being a tutor or to have private students to become a business, and by that I mean to have something that is stable and scalable in terms of revenue, you agree with me, you're going to have a business structure and the marketing mechanism in place, because how do you get students? You can't rely on your friends referring you to other students, or that's for you to become a business, you need a system to attract, to become your clients, right? So I'll take you through 3 steps in order for you to get.
Okay, cool. So in the first minute, it took you a minute to say something that should have taken 10 seconds. See what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
This is great to go back through, right? Because you're like, yeah, I spent, okay, 52 seconds saying something that should have just been like this. Thank you for sharing, with me everything that we've just discussed. Now, in order to, I essentially work with insert war cry, right, to some degree, right? So I help blah, blah, blah achieve blah, blah, blah. Would you like to know how that works? And we're going to make that first opening sentence customized to what they told us in the call. Right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Way too long.
Thank you for sharing all of that with me. Now, of course, I think you're aware that, I help and I work with ESL teachers or English teachers, however you want to coin it. I work with English teachers and I help them start their own independent English online English school with their own client base. Would you like to know how that works?
Yeah, that's good.
All we need
Yeah.
there as the intro, right? For brownie points or bonus points, that in itself is good enough, right? But for extra brownie points, we could say so that we help English teachers start their own independent online English school, so that you don't need to trade your time working for an English school that treats you, as in your words, treats you not good. Okay, right? We're relating our solution to their problem. Make sense? Very
Absolutely,
simple.
yeah.
It just shows them that you've listened to what they've said. So there's in that part there's probably 30 seconds that we could get rid of straight away, right? You've taken 50 seconds to take what took me 20 seconds to deliver.
Yeah, yeah. And asking the question is great. Would you like to know what I do?
And we're
Exactly. That's
asking
really
permission.
totally.
We're
Yeah.
asking for permission to talk about. We want them asking us, yes, tell me what you do and how it can help me. Right? We've asked permission for them to come they've given us permission to pitch them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
There.
Good though, man. Like it's not, it's not really bad. These are just areas that we can polish up. Yeah.
Step number one, I'm going to go through everything so you can ask me any questions.
I admire you for letting me do this.
Just at the end. Step number one is the foundation. This is established. Step number one, I'm going to go through everything so you can ask me any questions at the end. Step number one is the foundation. This is establishing your offer and your market, your target market, really, really precisely. Having an offer that makes you unique.
Why?
And that is something that the market really wants. That's one thing. I'll help you craft that offer. And defining the niche.
Why? What's the benefit to me?
Be more focused on.
That's what I'm thinking. The
obviously
through my mind.
This is going to involve having a coherent message across the channels you're going to be more present.
Step one.
And in your case, it's LinkedIn and Facebook.
Okay, so we're now already into LinkedIn and Facebook, and we're still in step two, right? Step one or step two. So we've got permission, right? We're now going into step one. Fantastic stuff. You're keeping the structure and the order great. Now, here's how I would deliver it, right? If I was you, or in this case, again, it's very similar to TLM. So like it's pretty similar. Similar market to TLM, but it's B2B. So it's actually, this would apply to like everybody's pitches really. So step number one is, in order to get your own tutoring business up and successful, we need to know, and you need to define who your exact client, who are your ideal clients, right? If you want to work with ideal customers, we need to first of all define who they are, right? So that we can bring your perfect customer into your business.
Right.
That's it. Done. The thing, not the thing is a terrible way of putting it. Step one, benefit to them. Step two, benefit to them. Step 3, benefit to them, right? So step 1, the first thing we need to do is define who your ideal customer is so that you can build a business around people that you love to work with. And that so that we can attract, or so that you or we, or whether it's a done with you or done for you offer, so that we can attract your ideal customer into your business and help you build a business around the exact people you want to work with and not the people that you're forced to work with.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay, so that's step 1 nailed down. And then I think we kind of maybe lost track a little bit of our step 1, step 2, step 3, possibly.
No, I'm going to get that. The point here, you have to go where your client is hanging out. So there's no point in building a website because people are not going to your website. The people there already.
I don't want you to tell me when I'm wrong. Right? So if I've got a website, or if I've thought about a website, it's not your job to tell someone that they're wrong. It's your job to show them that there is a better way. All right. So if in this context, just what you said there was like, you don't need a website, which we know is the case, but they don't. They're sitting there going, yeah, but I've always believed that this is a false belief, right? I've always believed that I need a website. So now I've just got this random guy telling me I don't need a website. Like, it can harm your pitch and your credibility in the eyes of them, because you're telling them and not ultimately it's just avoidable. Like, you just don't need that kind of piece of conflict in there. It doesn't add any value. It just kind of detracts from you and your pitch. So is this step number 2 or step number 3?
Still number 1.
Still number 1. Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, the people, they're already there on.
So in step number 1, we're now talking about websites and marketing and sales and with too much detail.
Facebook and LinkedIn. So just occupy the space and engage with people there. So that's what we're going to do. So on LinkedIn, I'm going to help you establishing a profile, setting up everything, and also on Facebook, structuring your Facebook, turn your Facebook into a business tool instead of just a social network. So this is foundation.
Got it.
Step number 2.
Okay, so I think maybe your steps are just a little bit off, which is then going to skew the whole pitch at this point. So your step number 1 is going to be defining the right perfect customer, so that you can help them build a business, or so that they can build a business around the people they want to work with, and not work with people who are low cost, high pressure, expecting everything for nothing type thing. Those kind of customers that they don't want to work with. Right. So step number 1 is we define exactly who your ideal customer is, so that we can build your business around your perfect customer, so that you only need to work with people that you love working with.
Yeah, that's great. I think I should focus on the ideal client instead of going to define your offer, helping with your offer and everything.
Ideal
just client. One thing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can mention, but again, we don't need to talk about your offer here. We don't need marketing this offer. We don't need to talk about the offer. We just want to have listened to what they've said all the way through the call. Step number 1 is we need to define who your exact ideal customer is, so that we can build your business around or by attracting the exact people that you want to work with, so that you're not stuck working with people who give you high stress, right? And pay you low amounts, right? Because they're going to want to work with people who are easy to work with, who pay good money.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah.
So does that make sense, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client, prospect? Getting a bit presumptuous that you're going to become a client, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
So once we've covered that, does that make sense, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect? Yes, it does. Right? We're asking for engagement. And this again is another important thing. We're asking them, we're keeping them engaged. Yeah, that sounds great. We're getting micro commitments. We're getting yeses.
Right? Yeah.
Cool. Step number 2 is, and again, we would have thought about this beforehand, which is the point of this, so I'm just going to have to wing it. Step number 2 is could be a couple of different things, but let's just go with lead gen, right? The customer attraction mechanism. So once we know exactly who your ideal customer is, we can now start building out a simple advertising campaign that attracts your ideal customer to your business online, right? The new customer attraction part. All right. And we do this by running a very simple Facebook ad to a free, we give away a free language lesson, right? And we run a Facebook ad to give away a free language lesson. We use a highly targeted Facebook ad to give away a free language lesson, which buys you an opportunity to sell your offer and service to your clients face to face, right? Number 3, once we've got your new customer or new client attraction system set up, we then need to make sure that you are equipped and you have a script and a proven process to follow at the end of your free session to turn as many of those leads and prospects into paying clients. And I do that by giving you a pre-formulated, a pre-written script that you follow at the end of your call to ensure that you're efficiently turning these leads into paying customers, right? What we're doing there is we're also relieving doubt, right? Because they're going to start doubting themselves. Each thing you say, they're going to go, oh, but I don't know how to sell.
Yeah.
We've already predetermined that. I know, Mr. Prospect, that you don't know how to sell. I'm not going to say that to him, but I know that you have a lack of confidence in selling your service because you've never done it before. You've never sold anything before. So how do I, reassure that doubt? Well, I tell them and tell them that I'm going to teach them how to do it, right? And I'm going to give them the pre-written processes and formulas, or the pre-written script that you can just follow to turn those leads into customers, regardless of whether you've sold anything before or not. That's what I'm going to help you with. Okay, so we've read what one of their objections is going to be, or what their objections are, and we're handling objections before we even get to objection handling, right? My way of handling objections is to try and eliminate them all before you even get to the end of the call. Glenn's way, who is equally as effective, is to actually be a ninja at handling objections using, what people have told you throughout the call. If you can do both, or at least, have both of these kind of mindsets to it and understand the reason and the logic why, why eliminating objections before they even arise is easier than handling objections at the end, using what they've told you in the call. For me, pre-handling objections before they even come up, for me, that's way more effective. I'm way better at handling objections before they even arise than I am at handling objections when they arise at the end of the call, right? So I want to handle that sales part there in that step 3, right? Step number 4, and the final part, step number 4, is we want to make sure that those people who don't become customers immediately at the end of their free session, we want to make sure that we have a system and a process to nurture those people by providing some very simple and basic and easy to do content pieces in a Facebook group and through your email list. We want to have channels where we can communicate with those people, provide more value, and nurture them to becoming a client over the next 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 months.
Right. Yeah, that was my step 3. This nurturing them.
You got it, man. So those are the you know, there's no exact formula of like, you know, say these 3, but in this case, these are the 3 that I've just kind of gone on, you know, on my toes as we're just doing it right now, right? Step number 1, identifying your ideal customer, benefit of that to the prospect, right? Step number 2, the new client attraction system. To me and you, that's Facebook ads, but new client attraction system, because again, it's positioned in a way that is going to give them what they want, new clients, right? New customers, the new client attraction system. It's just way more effective and powerful than saying, and then we're going to set up some Facebook ads. No, then we're going to set up the new client attraction system, which is a very simple Facebook, highly targeted Facebook advertising campaign to attract your exact customer into your business by giving away a free language lesson, free taster session. Okay. Step number 3 is, what was it? Lost my train of thought. We had
number 3 was helping them closing a sale, like providing a formula.
Sorry, yeah. Step 3, I'm going to show you, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to give you the scripts to use to convert as many of those free taster sessions into your offer. Right? Step number, or to become paying clients. Right? Step number 4 is we then also need a mechanism and a method for communicating with those people who aren't ready to become a customer straight away, because many of them won't be, right? But they will be in time. So we need a reliable system and process for communicating with those people and nurturing them over time until they're ready to become paying customers. Does that make sense, Mr. Prospect or Mrs. Prospect? I mean, yeah, that makes sense. So do you have any questions on the 3-step process, 4-step process, sorry? I mean, yeah, I've got questions. And then if you've missed something out, or you've, you know, if they've got questions on what you said, then they're going to ask you, right? So you're better off keeping things to 4 minutes. Yeah. And letting them ask you questions of things that you might have missed than you are giving a even 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've heard some go on for like 15 minutes. Give it like a 15-minute spiel of why I should buy this thing from you.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, better to give less and get them interested. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and this is where we say like 4 minutes is the sweet spot. 4 to 5 minutes is, you know, nice. Anything less than 4 is probably a little bit on the short side. Anything more than, you know, 5, 6 is just getting too long. I mean, I don't think we need to go through the whole thing of yours. Like, I think we listened to it, we got the gist. Unless there's anything that, unless you want me to keep going through it.
Well, it would be nice just for you to have, because I think it sounds confusing in the end, but I think I stick to the structure. Is the lead generation or opportunity generations. So this is where we're going to implement, or rather set in place the marketing engines.
You're doing a lot of things right, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's good stuff here. Like, you're thinking about the right thing. I think if you did this and practiced it 10 to 15 times,
yeah,
you would be very good at it. Now you've got, you know, what the kind of feedback that we've given you here. But I can see and hear that you're thinking about and saying some of the right things. We just need to polish up a little bit and make it a little bit better.
The marketing is going to happen per se. One on Facebook marketing campaigns, or LinkedIn, the marketing campaigns, or direct message. I'll make a demo so you can understand this later better, but no,
don't do that.
It's mainly
I'll make a demo so you can see or send this later. No, I want to close this client now if he's closable. I've just given him permission to say, okay, cool, send me that demo. Bye. No,
Yeah,
no.
that's right.
No, we wanna, do what we can to obviously help this person make a decision that working with you or working with us is going to be the best thing, and that making that decision now is better than waiting any longer, because they've already expressed all of these problems and pains that they've got. If I've got a problem, I've got a pain, and I've got somebody in front of me who I believe can solve that, I want to work with them. And equally, if I've got the solution to somebody's problem, as a proper leader, I want to, help them make a decision, help them make a difficult decision to do what is necessary to move beyond the current situation and the problem that they have right now. Right? If somebody's got, I don't know, a broken leg, right? Somebody's got a broken leg, and I'm like, cool, well, I'll leave you in the waiting room and I'll come back to you later. I'm like, man, I've got a broken leg, right? Can we do something about it now? And do you see what I'm saying? Like, they've got a problem, we've got the solution. We need to lead them to the decision,
sending a volume of
that they need to make
message to people daily and starting conversations daily. That, but don't worry, because 90% of this is going to be automated with tools, as I'll show you in the demo, and on Facebook advertisements, so that we attract a lot of people and have your precise markets taking a look at your offer. So these 2 steps are gonna bring you clients in the short term. But step number 3, this is the follow-up and the nurturing element. And this is what's going to allow you, it's going to give you stability in your business, and it's going to allow you to scale at some point. The step 3 is mainly where we're going to nurture leads that are not right to buy at the moment. So with step 2, we're going to raise a lot of opportunities with people, but a lot of people are not going to be ready to buy right away. So everyone who is not ready to buy, we're going to send to, for example, a free.
Can I just say that I love your energy, I love your tone, and I love your demeanor. So your tone is like, it feels and sounds like you're detached, and you're like, this is what I do, and this is the thing, and this is how it works. Are you in or not? More than trying to sell. Right. So a lot of people will be like, they're getting to get almost fired up at this point, and they're like, so yeah, this is the thing, and this is the other thing, and this is why it's great, and this is why it works so well, and so do you want to buy it? Whereas your energy is coming from the right place. It's coming from a place of do you know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely,
this is wish I could explain it better. This is what I do. This is how it works, and like, I'm going to be okay whether you decide it or not. It's you who needs this, like, without directly explicitly saying that. I just like your energy, and I like your tone, man. So like, it's really nice. It's good.
Facebook group, and we're going to grow this group organically as well. So this free group is going to be
okay. So that's not really relevant, right? We're going to grow this group organic. Like, now we're talking, what does organically mean? Right. We've got to talk like we're talking to as much as possible, like we're talking to a child. In terms of the language we use, we want to keep it as simple as possible. We don't want to use terms like, organic. They're like, well, what? Like, so I'm not going to put insecticide on my plants, on my food, right? Stuff like irrelevant, right? We're using language that isn't necessarily, it's not needed, it's not necessary, right? You want to explain and talk like you're talking to a child, to give them maximum chance of understanding what you're saying, right? You start using language, you start using terminology that they're not familiar with, big turn off. They're like confusion and lack of clarity is going to turn anyone off who was ever thinking about buying.
Yeah, 100%.
So although it was just a word, it was only the first, like really one of the first words that I actually heard that I noticed. You just want to keep your language really simple, like you have throughout the whole thing, and just talk as if you're talking to or trying to explain something to a young child. Right? Super simple.
Your place.
But again, you're saying the right things, man. In a nutshell.
At some point, it's going to give you a lot of business if you nurture this group properly. Could be an email list as well, but mainly the Facebook group. So this is where you're going to follow up with people who are not ready to buy before, but later they become clients. So this is making sure that we have a way to reach out to people. So you have people in your pipeline for this whole process.
Pipeline.
So you don't
What's a pipeline? I'm an English teacher. I don't know what pipeline is.
lose sight of them. Yeah. So this is what's going to make sure you never go dry, and it's going to make sure that.
What do you mean by dry? Do you know what I mean? They're a little bit too abstract, and I'm not saying that everything I say is perfect, right?
Yeah.
But these are just examples of things that you can polish up, like just use clear language. And again, this comes with practice, and it comes with doing calls and time and practice, ultimately experience. But there's a lot of good stuff here, man.
You have more students than you have a big supply of students. It's going to allow you to offer higher ticket package or even assigning students to other teachers and making some passive income on that. So these are the three steps you need to have: the foundation, the lead generation, and the nurturing element. All right.
Foundation, lead generation. I really like that, man. I really like that. But we could just make them, you could use those 3 points, but just make them much clearer. Right? I mean, you could use the 4 that we covered. This is what I mean when I say there's no exact, you could say these 3 things that the 3 points that you said, but just make them simpler.
Yeah.
Or what I would do is use the 4 that I said anyway. But my point is your three steps, your 3 points are actually, pretty decent, right? You've taken them from the offer creation sheet. But I think what we could do is simplify it even more for your actual pitch to your market, right? So you've done the right thing in taking those 3 things. I just think we could simplify it even a little bit more and make this even better, especially for this market who are very, quite basic, right? It's quite a simple market that you're going to be selling to in terms of their awareness of marketing terminology and stuff like that. Right, so we want to keep it super simple. Let's just finish it off, man.
So implementing these 3 steps would be a 3 months engagement, realistically.
Stop.
So
now, once you've done your 3 steps, now what? Before you pitch.
Sorry, say again.
Once you've done your steps, so 3 or 4 steps, whatever your process is, what do we need to do before we actually pitch and before we start talking about money and pricing and blah, blah, blah? We want to open it up to them to ask questions to us in case there's things that they don't understand, because the last thing we want to do is pitch them when there's uncertainty and unclarity around what you've said throughout throughout this part. Right? Before we pitch them, we want to go 3 steps. Does all of that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And they're either going to go, yep, that makes sense. Great. Do you have any questions on the process or on anything? Or they're going to go, well, no, they're like, I don't understand this bit and that bit. In which case, that gives you the opportunity to explain that part before you move on to pitch them. Because if there's a lack of clarity and uncertainty around what you've just said, they're not going to buy it, full stop, ever. Doesn't matter how much it is or who you are. If they don't fully understand everything that you've said, they're not going to buy it. So we want to give them an opportunity to ask us questions. If there's any questions, you know, that have arisen, we want to give them an opportunity to get confirmation or clarify anything that they might not fully understand before we move on to talk about how that would look and pricing, etc. So we want to say how much, who's commenting in here? Who's off? All right, people just going. That's cool. Just unmute yourself, man. Like, if you've got questions, just unmute yourself and ask, because I don't check the chat when I'm in flow. But yeah, so we want to make sure that they're clear and they understand what we've just said about our service and how it works and how it can benefit them, right? We then want to open it up, give them an opportunity to ask questions. And after that, only after they've asked all of their questions and they're like, nope, that's good, I've asked all of the questions that I would like. Most of the time, people are going to ask you how much. Okay, how do I get started?
Yeah.
Right? How much is this? We want them to be asking us before we pitch them, you know, our packages and pricing. Right? We want to get the ball. We want to get them coming to us and saying, great, well, it sounds great. Does this sound like everything? And you do this by simply doing things like this. So does it sound like, if they're not asking you how much it is, like straight away, and they say and they understand, does that sound like everything that you need to be hitting that goal of, you know, landing 10 new language school clients per month and getting you to that goal of $3,000, you know, dollars per month through your own independent school over the next 3 to 6 months? Or, you know, does it sound like everything that you need to get you to that goal? Yes or no? I wouldn't even put a time frame on it, just yes or no. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everything I need. How much is it? That's the logical thing for them to say. How do I get started? How do I work with you? How do we do this? Now the ball is in our court. Now we can make them an offer. Great. Well, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, to work with me and for me to, you know, do all of this for you, or for me to teach you how to do all of this step by step, it's a 3-month commitment and it's $3K.
Yeah, right. It's better to say the period of time at the end when you're talking about the money, perhaps.
It's a 3-month commitment. It's $3K.
Yeah.
Don't say anything else after that. It's then up to them to tell us, right? Leave the ball in their court. Let them simmer on it, fester on it, blah, blah, blah. Right? But the most important thing is that we, you know, we position the mechanism and the vehicle that we've just explained, step 1, step 2, step 3, possibly step 4. We've got a step 4. Does that sound like everything you need to get you to that goal of having of having a client base of 25 clients making $3,000 per month? Does that sound like everything you need to hit that goal that you've just told me that you want to hit?
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Plenty of notes, things to think about. I'd love to hear you do it again. Right?
Well, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Let's finish it off, man. I feel like I'm a completist. Can't leave it with like 25 seconds to go.
And you have this transformation. Okay. So, yeah, in terms of costs, I offer this 3-month business transformation for $2,000, or if you $2,000 up front, or you can pay you can divide in 2 times, 3 times, I'll send you the details
No,
of the numbers.
no, we can't.
But what do you think?
Cool, man. So I think there's some real big key takeaways here.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one's just listening to the end of that there is we're offering payment plans to somebody who hasn't even told us that they want to work with us, and we don't even know whether they need a payment plan. We don't offer payment plans to people who already have the cash in the bank, already have the money.
Yeah.
We don't lend money to people who already have the money, but they just don't want to spend their own, right? Because that's what you're doing when you offer a payment plan. You're lending money that is, you know, essentially going to become yours at the end of this transaction. You're lending them that money for them to pay you at a later date. We don't want to do that. We want to take a pay in full, right? Pay in fulls are the most committed clients. They get the best results, and they're the best people to work with. So we don't want to undermine that by trying to take, you know, payment plans off people who don't need payment plans, right?
Yeah, that's silly to offer before anything.
I think the most important things are step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, potentially. Just hash out, again, as we've discussed in this video, 4 steps to go from where they are now to where they want to be. Clarify that they understand everything that we've spoken about, and give them an opportunity to ask us questions and get clarity on anything that might have been unclear. Then ask them if that's everything that they feel like they would need to hit the specific goal that they told you they want to hit throughout the call. So does that sound like everything that you need to be hitting those 25 new students, or 25 students, and hitting that 3K a month goal with my help? Does that sound like everything you'll need? Yes, it does. Yeah. Or no, it doesn't. Okay, why not? Again, yes, it does. We're looking for the yeses, right? Yes, it does. That sounds like everything that I need. Them telling you that's everything I need, that's so powerful, because then when it comes to the price, and then them be like, oh, well, no, I'm not going to do it, or no, it's not for me, or whatever. Okay, so, you know, you told me it's everything you need. Anyway, that's a story for a different day. But, you know, is this everything you need? Yeah, that sounds like it's everything I need. It's a commitment, right? It's a yes. It's a verbal confirmation that, like, this is everything that I need to get to that goal. Specific goal that they told you earlier. Is this everything that you need to be hitting those 25 students and hit 3K in your language school, online language school? Yes, it is. Yeah. Great. Would you like to know? Then they're going to say, great. So, like, do you want to know about the next steps, or how that could work? Or how I work, you know, something along those lines. Again, inviting them onto you. Yeah, I'd love to know. We want their permission. I'd love to know, how do we get started? Right, great. Well, you know, I can definitely, again, just reconfirm that you can get them to that goal. I can definitely help you get these 25 clients on board, or, you know, get to whatever the goal is that they told you they want. I can definitely help you get to that goal. Now, to work with me, it's a 3-month commitment to make sure that we get you there in that time frame, and it's a 3K investment. You're always better off saying 3K than 3,000, by the way. It's a 3K investment.
Right.
Then leave it on them. Let them come back to you. And go from there, man. But, like, I think you've got a lot of takeaways and a lot to put into practice there.
Okay, I hope that's been super helpful and insightful for you to see how you could benefit from having a multiple 7-figure coach as your mentor. Now, if you feel like I can actually help you either start your own business or grow the existing business that you have, and that you'd be better off working with somebody like me who is proven, you know, to be able to help people get these kind of results, then I would love to hear from you. So below this video, you'll find a link to book a call with one of my team where you can apply for a place. You can apply to work with me and my team to help you do those exact things. So hope this has been super helpful. I'll see you on the next video.